Shalom, Kol Halal Yahweh Shem Shai by Hashem Barakwadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so now more so than ever. To the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners, and to the Akwath that are listening and learning, to you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you with another lesson in truth. The name of this video is called, and it was put up by Al Jazeera, and it's called "Who is to blame for the increase in equality in the U.S.? We need to talk and see when policies were put in place for generations that suppressed and oppressed the or should I just say arrested the development of the so-called Negro here in America. No one cared about these issues. All right, when they finally allowed, and they did the same thing to the Hispanic so-called population, contrary to popular belief. They didn't really start giving them opportunities until much later too. They faced a lot of the same problems economically, all right? But these issues weren't issues until it started affecting Esau. Now, all of a sudden, everybody has a problem with inequality in services and with the police, et cetera, all of a sudden. All right, this is Jeremiah 49:7, and it reads, "Concerning Edom, thus saith Yahweh of hosts, is wisdom no more in Teman? Is counsel perished from the prudent? Is their wisdom vanished?"
He says capitalism is killing Americans and thinks socialism is the answer. I'm Malika Bilal, and I'm here with Ryan Knight, activist and podcast host, because we need to talk. Ryan, welcome to the show. Let's start with one of the greatest ironies of this pandemic. At a time when millions of Americans are out of work, we've seen the world's richest men get even richer, with U.S. billionaire wealth surging. Who's to blame for this staggering economic inequality?
Who is to blame is the corporate duopoly, is both parties in Washington. For the last 40 years, under both Republican and Democratic administrations, we have seen income inequality increase. It started under Nixon with trickle-down economics, and it's gotten worse ever since. And, just like in 2008, when Wall Street crashed the economy, the first thing our government did is not to bail out working people, right? The first thing they did is bail out the big banks and who actually crashed the economy. Well, we saw the same thing happen.
The reason that's been is because America is a corporation, and the corporation comes before the people. Point blank, period. America is not a country, but yet a corporation. Corporations have presidents, vice presidents, and chairmen, and all that whole sort of thing. And the American government is ran just like a large corporation because it is. I've recently gone to court in a lawsuit against the corporation, which is a very large and powerful one with many branches. And I proved in the court of law the fraudulent practices that they used against me. It's exactly a month later, and the judge still hasn't ruled yet, and now it's in the hands of another judge, and they're trying to dismiss it on a technicality, not in because there was something wrong with my lawsuit, all right, but because there was one proper person hadn't been informed of something to that nature. So they're giving me until a short period of time to respond to prevent that from happening. But it just goes to show you that it took them 4 weeks to respond when this case should have been closed in my favor immediately, because they didn't meet the requirements that they were given in the lawsuit nor the court. They didn't even show up to court. You know why? And that right there, they didn't show up to court because they had no no case. They had no chance. Why? Because they had been revealed, just as this is being revealed. The two are one and the same. The system is corrupt. And when you expose the system, then the system just strong arms you. And that's why they bailed out the corporations and not the people.
When the pandemic struck, right? We hear this pandemic hits, and what do the Democrats and Republicans do back in February and March? They passed what was called the CARES Act. Well, it didn't have a lot of care for working families. It had a lot of care for the billionaire class. And what we've seen is it was a massive wealth transfer to the richest Americans. We've seen U.S. billionaires increase their wealth by over $1 trillion now.
It was a straight money transfer. And then these people are going to be, these billionaires are all for the digital currency. So when they transfer over, it won't matter that they're going to lose out on whatever they have in dollars. I imagine they probably don't even have anything in U.S. currencies as much as they, that would even affect them at this point. They're completely, totally ready for this digital currency. So all it's going to do is cause uprisings and destructions, and riots in the streets worldwide. Not only in America, but worldwide. This thing is worldwide, man. Why? Because it is a new world order, as that guy in the video that was sent to me slipped up and said. He just outright said it. Just like the brother said in the video, behind closed doors, they speak freely. And it was funny how the woman behind him, the facial expression that she made when he said the new world order is being put in place. All right. And then how he tried to clean it up and doctor it up. This is Jeremiah 49:20. Therefore, hear the counsel of Yahweh that he hath taken against Edom and its purpose, that he hath purpose against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. So basically, what this is going to lead to war. And it's going to be Edom, specifically Amalek, that's going to be that's going to cause the event, whatever it may be, the catalyst behind this thing. All right, that's what's going to happen, and this system is going to fail. All right, like the scripture says, when they're about to fulfill their belly. And problem is the preparation for that dinner for them to fill their belly is going to be a lot of death, blood, and destruction. All right. My son sent me a article on how in New Zealand they're already setting up quarantine camps for the people who refuse to take the test. Why do you need to take a test when you're not sick?
While we're all left, and the American people are left kind of picking up the pieces and barely keeping their head above water. The Democrats do a good job of kind of talking like they're the People's Party. They'll say things like healthcare is a human right. They have the platitude part down, but they won't actually back up that platitude and fight for the policy, Medicare for all, to make healthcare a human right. Democrats will say that climate change is real, but they won't fight, for a Green New Deal to actually do something about it. They will say that, Black Lives Matter, but they won't fight to defund the police and shift resources into Black and brown communities.
And see, that was, they won't do this for Black and brown communities. All right. Why? Because they're an unethical, unrighteous, unholy people. And they don't care. And like I said before, and people like him, where have they been? Where were they in the 90s? Where were they in the 80s, in the 70s, in the 60s? Where were they? All right. In the 40s, in the 50s, into 20s, when all this legislation was brought against Jacob to allow him not to own houses, not to own property, not to own businesses and firearms and things of that nature, preventing them to get ahead. What was this then? See, now that it's affecting them, they have a problem with it. All right. And then the left and the right hand side is like we always say, it's two wings on the same damn bird. You can't look for a remedy from someone who has no remedy. All they have for you is poison. All right. Can't get, who's going to pity the person bit by the snake charmer, man. He plays with snakes. Eventually, they're going to get bit. Look what happened to Steve Irwin. We all knew that he was going to get it one day. It was just almost comical that he died by, by such a simple animal and not some violent beast. But we all knew that eventually it would happen. As a matter of fact, I think a lot of people will watch, waiting for the day when he got it, and he finally got it. Well, Esau Edom was going to get it as a whole. So let's go to this next video. CNBC, RT are polls trustworthy. Here we go. This one. The fact that he has to be brought up.
Is growing.
Damn commercial.
If you want to bring home an honest wage, apprenticeships will allow you to.
Let's just skip that. Okay.
So, if you're one of those people like me who are watching the polls closely in the run-up to the election, you might have woken up that next day and thought, I don't think they did a very good job on this one.
Talk about an understatement. Back in 2016, the pollsters got it wrong, and of course, so did the media. And there are some who believe that because they messed up so badly 4 years ago, they're being overly cautious this time around.
Let's face it, a lot of us did not see the Trump victory in 2016 coming, and so we're gun shy this time. I'm not sure that's a bad thing, actually. I think sometimes we go too far in the other direction of looking like the race is over when we don't know that. Probably we made that mistake in 2016.
Mistake is putting it kindly. As we head into the final few days before the presidential election, with the media reveling in the polls which show Joe Biden way ahead of Donald Trump, it behooves us to take a look back at how wrong they all got it 4 years ago.
With just 3 weeks left, our CBS News poll shows Hillary Clinton with a 9-point lead, and no trailing candidate has ever made up a deficit that big this late.
Even among men, she is winning within the margin of error, 44 to 41. If those numbers remain anything like that, you could be looking at not just a loss, but a blowout.
A blowout!
Donald Trump is down 17 points among women. You do not get elected president of the United States if you are down 17 points among women.
He can win.
So you see where they're going with this. And then what happened? Donald Trump won, and women were literally in the streets of America crying in public. At the gym, at the dojo, on the buses, on the trains, in the offices. They were so women. I mean, women were just so angry, man. A lot of women just like shut down, like they went on strike. They wouldn't even have sex. All right? And it just goes to show you that this system, it is a joke, man. It's wicked and it's crooked. And when the lie IQ just continues to shine on because you have an electoral college. All right? And if you and the electoral college decides who's going into to office, point blank, period. That's speaking if this is something new. This happened back with when Bush was in office, man. All right, he lost all the popular votes, but he ended up winning the office and getting the office anyway. Why? Because the electoral college gave it to him. Presidents are selected, not elected. This is all a distraction to make the people believe that they have a voice, that they have a choice, and they don't. All right? And some Americans have actually figured that out. But the mass majority, you sheeple, you mask-wearing fools, all right, that believe the pseudoscience and the lies and all these media companies that it says media lies. It says polls lie and so does the media. That's the name of this video. All right, this is on RT. Polls lie and so does the media. They lie continuously without nonstop. All right? And the science and the data behind this whole pandemic is all fabricated lies, paid off lies. They pay off scientists and doctors to say what they want. I just had an over the phone doctor interview with my doctor, and she's trying to sell me on the flu, and that COVID is a flu, it's just stronger. And I don't believe that because the regular flu, according to the numbers, still killed more people than COVID did. COVID has a 99.6% recovery. All right, 99.6, man. So they're just riding this. They're using, and you think that they would have used something that was actually a little more deadly, that they could actually sell it. But they, but the only people it's really destroying is the same people that would have died. They could have died if they had the regular flu anyway. Mostly old and sick people. Those have been the majorities. And as I've said before, E loves to use crises and problems that can't be fact checked. Well, they can just take their media and say this happened and say that happened. Where alphabet law enforcement agency can say that this sort of security hack and that sort of security hack shut down things, control things, change policy, but they don't have to produce the proof. And that's what a lot of business owners are asking. Where's the proof in all these numbers? You're just saying this, but you can't prove any of it. All right? But let's finish with this. This is 2 Ezra 11 and 39. And it reads, Are not thou that remainest of the fourth beast, who I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times might come through them? All right. And that fourth beast was the Roman Empire. And America is the second leg of the Roman Empire. All right. Also spiritually known as Egypt and Babylon. It's all of those. Why? Because Rome took on the philosophies of all those places. And America has as well. And the fourth came and overcame the beasts that were past, and had power over the world with great fearfulness, and over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression. So long time they dwelt he upon the earth with deceit. So the whole, like we always say, that everything with this place is deceit, was lies, the history. All right. I'm looking at a man who's red on the screen, but yet they'll call him white. All right. There are things in the background that are white, and his skin does not match that. He is not white, he is red, just like the Bible describes him. Esau as being red. All right. And it says, For the earth have thou not judged with truth, and they haven't. All right. Matter of fact, let's jump to 2 Ezra, the 6th chapter, real quick. This is what's happening. The truth is actually coming out, and this is damaging and devastating to the powers that be. All right. That's why they try to demonize the Israelites, the men of the Lord, mainly. All right. This is 2 Ezra 6 and 27. For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. As for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall overcome, and truth, and the truth which have been so long without fruit shall be declared. And that truth is who the Israelites actually are, the true name of the Lord. All right. Why? Because this earth has been ruled and controlled with much deceit. And that deceit is being broken literally right before your eyes. All right. Back in 2 Ezra 11. This is verse 42. For thou have afflicted the meek, thou hast hurt the peaceable, thou hast loved liars, and destroyed the dwellings of them that brought forth fruit, and hast cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm. All right. Because you came over here to America, and you did what you did to us native people, destroyed our homes, sold us into slavery, put us on slave ships, went to West Africa, got our brothers into the Southern Kingdom and brought them over and did the same thing to them. Made them slaves, and made some of us slaves on our own land. All right. It says, verse 43, Therefore is thy wrongful dealing come up to the highest, and thy pride up to the mighty, because the Lord is slow to anger, man. But now he's angry. Your wickedness have reached him to the heavens. All right. The highest also have looked upon the proud times, and behold, they are ended, and their abominations are fulfilled. And therefore appear no more thou eagle, no more horrible wings, nor thy wicked feathers, nor thy malicious heads, nor thy hurtful claws, nor thy vain body. That same body that has the left and the right hand side that they brag about. This Democratic and Republican thing. And then all the weird combinations they're in. They're two wings on the same eagle. And the Lord said it's ended. All right. That all the earth may be refreshed and may return, being delivered from thy violence, that she may hope for the judgment and mercy of him that made her. Call Halal Yahweh Bashem Abashai, Bashem Rakak Wadash, Wa Abba Babal. Shalom.